is Tuesday. Today is one of those days where I need to sit down and get all of my shit in order. So I don't even know what today's date is, but I go back to work in a week, in 6 days, and my schedule right now is really messed up. I'm going to bed at like 2 in the morning and getting up at like 10 or 11. Last night we went to bed around 1:30ish, and I got up at like 8. I'm trying to get back into like going to bed earlier and getting up earlier because my normal schedule is like in bed by 10, up by 5:45. So I need to figure out how to get back on that schedule. But today is just gonna be one of those days where I like do my hair, paint my nails, fill out my planner. I know I'm video chatting with Bunny later, but it's just gonna be a lot of like hanging out and just editing videos, and it's like the setup for the week. I always have a day like that in the week. Normally it's Sundays, because Sundays are like the day where I have like a good grasp on like what I want the week to look like. It's a very quiet day for me, and it is Tuesday, but I figure better late than never. But yeah, I don't know, it's just like I need to figure something out, because I can't just keep like aimlessly wandering through the days right now, which is exactly what I have been doing recently. I've been trying to dress like a human to make myself feel better, even though I'm on quarantine and have absolutely nothing to do.
Same. I'm like, well, I could just wear pajamas.
Yeah. It's kind of helping.
I don't do anything to my hair, and I just keep thinking, like, maybe if I did something to my hair, I'd feel more human.
Right. If it actually works. I'm painting my nails.
What color are you doing for them? I keep telling myself I'm going to paint my nails.
I'm painting the tips of them blue.
Ooh, I like that.
That looks very good. When are you said you going back May 2nd? Or May 4th, hopefully?
May 4th.
Yeah.
Assuming everything goes back to normal.
I don't think that'll happen.
I feel like it's going to be like, okay, we're going back May 4th. Okay, so about the May 4th date, we're actually going back.
I think it'll be like open, close, open, close.
I kind of think
Start the rice, and then we need chopped vegetables, chopped steak, broccoli, garlic, ginger.
So much.
We brought onion too. Figured that wouldn't be a terrible addition.
And we do have about 10 million of them.
Huh?
And we do have about 10 million of them.
Yeah, I cut it open the other day, but we never used it.
Hi, girl.
Goodbye.
Why goodbye?
Because you're kicking around the kitchen.
No, maybe I'll let her stay. Oh. What am I doing?
The rice. Do you want to do it? Yep. I don't know if there's room for another cutting board, but you could cut the ginger or the steak. Or the onion.
Ginger or steak? Okay. What? So I actually read things, and I think it's time that I update you guys. This past week has been pretty crazy, but I have been reading a ton just while Rocco hangs out and watches TV and plays his game. And basically over the last 24 hours, 48 hours, I read a few books, and I think I should probably tell you about them because this is a reading vlog after all. I read The Best Laid Plans by Cameron Lund. It was good. I think I gave it 3 stars. Not my favorite book I've ever read, but I started reading this on my birthday, so in February. But basically this follows our main character Keely, and she is one of the last virgins in her class, so she decides that this is going to be the year that she, tries to lose her virginity, basically. And she meets a guy named James Dean at the movie store that she works at, and they kind of like start having a relationship, and she enlists the help of her best friend, who's a bit of a player, to teach her how to handle sex and stuff. Now there were a few issues I found with this book, but overall the enjoyment of it was okay. I would give it 4 stars on enjoyment. Even though I set it down for a couple months, when I picked it back up I didn't really, it was like okay, I wasn't like, oh god, I'm reading this again, you know, I wasn't dragging ass basically to get back into it, but like I said, there were some issues. So in my wrap up that I do for April, I will talk to you guys about some of the issues that I saw, but basically it was just a little bit cringy and kind of inappropriate because there's a lot of like situations that I think Keely is in that I kind of identify with, because James Dean is an older character and she is 18 in the book, but there are a few situations that she's put in with him that I was just like, oh, this is very cringy and bordering on inappropriate, so I'll talk about it then when I do get to talk about it. The next book that I read was Undercover Bromance, which I loved. This is the second book in the Bromance Book Club. The first one is just called the Bromance Book Club, and this one follows Braden Mack, who they just call Mac basically, and Liv, who is the sister of the main character, the main character from Bromance Book Club. And basically Liv, works at a restaurant, and the owner of the restaurant is a piece of shit and is like sexually assaulting people, and she gets thrown into it with Mac basically, and Mac helps her take him down, or try to take him down. I really like this. I think it holds up really well to the first one. You guys know Bromance Book Club was one of my favorite books that I think I've ever read. The characters are really cool. They're like these big sports characters, so they're kind of like a little bit like meatheady, and you'd think them to be just like super stupid, but they're not. They're actually like really, I mean, they're flawed because they're, you know, just like characters, but they're definitely more open to like feminism and how to treat people well, because the whole point of the first book was they are in this romance book club to teach them how to be better like boyfriends and husbands and things like that. So there's a lot of that throughout the book, and it does talk about like men calling out other men on the inappropriate shit that they do, and I just really liked it. I think that the characters are really what does it in for me. I read this night before last. I was laying in bed reading it, and Rocco was asleep, and I was afraid I was gonna wake him up because I was like giggling so hard, but he can sleep through a bomb at this point. But it was really good. It does make me laugh. Books that make me laugh are hands down my favorite. The next book I read is also a romance, and it follows Ellie and what's his character? I can't even remember anymore. Nick. So it is Love Unscripted. You guys saw, I'll put here, the unboxing that I did for my bake rate, and this book was in it. Basically follows Nick and Ellie. They meet the night of Obama's first presidential election, and they are together for 4 years when one day Ellie basically tells him, I don't love you, like I can't love you like you need me to love you, blah blah blah. And she moves out, and a lot of the story is like it jumps between present day and the past. And I read a couple of reviews where people said that it was all over the place, and I don't really feel like it was. There are a couple of like memories that you do have where they go back to like, you know, 2 years from present day, but most of the time it's like present day and the Obama election. So I was okay with the timeline. I know people were kind of confused by it, but I wasn't confused by it, and maybe it's because I read it all in one sitting. I read this in 4 hours. I stayed up till 4 in the morning reading last night, but I gave it 3 stars because I don't really like Nick's character. They definitely have the type of relationship where they're both trying to fix each other, and it's like pretty obvious, and Ellie has like a lot more drive to do things than Nick does, so he kind of just like grated on me. But Owen, the gentleman who wrote it, spoke about how he wanted Nick to be very real and raw, and I definitely get that, but I think for me he just wasn't a very good character. And they talk about I saw some reviews where people were talking about like Nick and Ellie's relationship and how they weren't very believable, and I can see that too. Their connection was kind of strange to me. It was very like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, or like just shit like that, like the very like garden statey kind of thing. And there's a lot of references to that because Nick is like a huge movie buff, and Ellie is a photographer, so it was kind of cliche, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy reading it. Like I said, I stayed up till 4 in the morning reading it, so it wasn't the least enjoyable thing. But those are the books that I've read over the last couple of days. But yeah, that is what I read, and I will see you guys in another update, I guess. I don't know when that's gonna be, but I will see you guys a little bit later. Super shocking.
And both of my this stuff in here that what is not super shocking? What is that?
Did we go through so many coffee cups? Were you about to get super sassy? We drink coffee like 5 times a day.
You do not.
You do.
We drink
How
coffee.
how many cups of coffee do you think you drink in a day?
Pre-COVID or
What is your
in the past 2 weeks.
What did you do to your scissors?
I don't know, they probably got marshmallow in them. I mean, recently I've been drinking 2 or 3.
Yeah, but you used to drink like a pot of coffee like every morning.
I used to drink 3 or 4 cups every morning, and then espresso at some point throughout the day. Stop.
1 second. Say that again so people can hear you.
No.
Come on.
No.
Say it.
No.
Come on.
I ain't saying shit. I don't even know what you want me to say.
Talking about you greasing the pan. So there's what? Not maximum stickage?
I said no stickage.
The word maximum was in
The
there.
word maximum was not in there. Wasn't even close.
You're so
It's one
close.
of those things where you install a word
Installed.
in your own head.
God. What are you giggling about? Explain, why are you laughing?
Because there's cake on.
Yeah, we're going. It is so ugly, but it's going to be so good. Do you agree? You see this? Down
You
here.
do. You need to salvage it.
Ow.
No.
You got a little mouth. Which one you want to try first?
Chocolate, of course.
Do you want to be Prue or Paul?
Neither.
What do we put in there? Reese's and walnuts? What do you think?
It's bland.
I'm Paul. I'm Paul, you're Prue. You really think it's bland?
No, it's
Okay.
delicious.
I'm about to fucking throat chop you so hard right now. Right, vanilla was almond and
Chocolate chip.
which are all on the bottom. A rookie Great British Bake Off mistake.
That's good.
I like the vanilla more.
You can try one with a little bit of both. They work so well together.
It's chocolate and vanilla.
Whoever would have thought of this combination?
I hate you so much.
So original.
Your fucking dad jokes are the worst.
That's not even a dad joke.
It's something your dad would say.
Oh god.
Oh, it's too crumbly.
Texture's all wrong.
It doesn't even look good. It's like you don't even get to redeem because it doesn't look good either. Alright.
It's a nice sponge.
Is it a sponge or a, what's the other one? What's the other thing that they say?
That was just a sponge or a cake.
No, there's sponge, cake, and there's something else. It's
Creme
like,
patissiere.
that's a sauce. That's a sauce. Alright, you wanna go sit down and actually eat it?
Sure.
My big ass glass of milk.
Oh my. What was that?
What is what? That's a walnut. Yeah, what the fuck you're trying to taste? I'm done with
Is
you.
that a Reese cup?
I'm breaking up with you. Phoebe. What are you heavy sighing about?
Huh?
What are you heavy sighing about?
Nothing in particular.
Are you heavy sighing about how fat your cat's getting?
No, because she's not getting fat.
Saturday night at like 8:30, and I thought now would be a good time to close out the vlog because I'm getting ready to edit a bunch of videos for the week and be done with it. Start my week off fresh. I go back to work Monday, so I thought I would just wrap it up real quick. I did finish another book. I finished Catching Fire, which is the second book for the Hunger Games. I ended up giving it 4 stars, not quite 5 stars. I think some of the twists at the end were like a little bit hard for me to believe, and a lot of the time reading it, not a lot of it, but like the end of it, I felt like it was like difficult for the sake of being difficult, which is not my favorite kind of book. Like I feel like some of the plot twists and stuff, some of the things that happened at the end, I was just like a little bit put down about. But I will say a couple of the twists and turns, I was really just like, oh my god, like a couple of characters that I was like unsure what their intentions were going to be, things like that. I ended up really liking it. So gave it 4 stars. Before we hop off of here though, I am also going to unbox my bakery with you guys because I was going to do a dedicated video for it, but I don't know, since I'm going back to work, exactly how much time I'm going to have to do everything. So I wanted to sit down really quickly and unbox it with you, which means I need to open it, which means I need to find something with which to open it. Haha, figured it out. Okay, so let's find the theme card because I don't remember what it was. Gonna get to experience it with me. Let's see. The theme is today is for me. I like this little art. This is very like BTS. For some reason it's like very pastel and reminds me of BTS. But let's go through what we got. So the first thing we have here is obstinate headstrong girl, and it is a hat. I don't normally wear hats. I probably will this summer though because I'm trying really hard not to get sunburned. I get sunburned basically every summer, so hopefully this will help with that. I actually really like that actually. The next thing I see here is a little thing. Is this a little bath bomb? I think it is. I think it's just like a little itty bitty bath bomb. It says press pause and recharge. This is your day. Soak it up in a nice warm bath with this luxurious bath bomb. I think this is it. It's like the little teeny tiny one, which is actually kind of cute. The next thing I see here is a bracelet, which I actually do wear bracelets. I'm like hit or miss with some of the jewelry I do and do not wear. This is a knot bracelet. Tie a string around your finger so you don't forget to take time for yourself today, or slip on this modern minimalist bracelet as a reminder instead. You are worth it. This is actually really pretty. It's like a very pretty gold color, and it just has like the knot in the front of it. I really like that actually. And it's like, it seems like it'd be adjustable, which is good because I have really big wrists. No one's surprised to hear that. The next thing we have here, oh, it's like a little mask. It is a little mask. It says Namaste every day, and it is one of those masks that you wear over your eyes. It says wrap pack in a moist cloth or paper towel, microwave for 15 seconds, add additional 5-second intervals until desired temperature is reached. To use cold, freeze for at least 2 hours. The pack should only be applied to the relief area for the doctor recommended time of 20 minutes. So these are one of those like maybe for like if you have a headache, or if you are, I don't know, just trying to like relax or have like eye strain. Like I get eye strain a lot from editing and things like that, so that's actually really helpful. The next thing we have here is a cleansing puff. Oh, so this is like K-beauty or like Korean beauty. I don't know if it's Korean or Japanese, but this is really cool. So it's a makeup remover puff. Girl, wash your face. Just add water and use this microfiber puff to gently remove all of your makeup and prep for relaxation. This is really cool because I've been trying to not use a whole lot of like cotton rounds and things like that when I take off my makeup. I actually just remove my makeup normally with what's it called, coconut oil. Like I just use straight coconut oil, so this is actually really handy. And I think the last couple of things we got are for the book. My camera is not going to focus on me. We have the couple art, and then on the back of it is the Dear Reader letter by Sarah Hogel, and then we have obviously the signed book plate. And the book that we got this month, I forgot to say, this is April's, right? Yeah, okay. And then the book we got is You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. This is so pretty. I love these colors. I love the cartoon romance drawings. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like it, I do like it, I hate it, like whatever. Everybody's like back and forth about it, but I love them, and I tend to think that the spines are really pretty as well. They look fantastic on my shelf, and that's like part of the reason why. I mean, usually like I don't discriminate if like a romance novel has like a really cheesy cover or, you know, whatever, like if Fabio's on it, like I don't give a shit, but it is really cool that this is just really pretty. It's like, it'll be nice to photograph too. But it says, Naomi Westfield has the perfect fiance. Nicholas Rose holds doors open for her, remembers her restaurant orders, and comes from the kind of upstanding society family any bride would love to be a part of. They never fight. They're preparing for their lavish wedding that's 3 months away, and she is miserably and utterly sick of him. Naomi wants out, but there's a catch. Whoever ends the engagement will have to foot the non-refundable wedding bill. When Naomi discovers that Nicholas too has been feigning contentment, the two of them go head to head in a battle of pranks, sabotage, and all-out emotional warfare. But with the countdown looming to the wedding that may or may not have come to pass, Naomi finds her resolve slipping, because now that they have nothing to lose, they're finally being themselves and having fun with the last person they expect, each other. That is adorable. I love that. So I'm really excited to read this actually. This sounds really cute because I love hate to love romances, and this just sounds right, like kind of the opposite. Like they're in love but faking it basically, and then they fall in love with each other because they turn into giant assholes to each other, like joking around and doing pranks and stuff. So that sounds really cool. I like this box. I like this box a lot. I think the only thing that I'm not like 100% on is this bath bomb because it's really small, but I don't know, like you never know the potency, like maybe it could be like super potent. We'll find out. And then my favorite thing that we got is the cleansing puff. I actually really like this. I think that's a cool like item to put in something like this. I mean, really, I think all of it is really cool. I'm just nervous that I won't use the hat, but we'll find out this summer. But that's gonna be it for this vlog because like I said, I'm gonna edit and hang out and be creative and stuff. I also finished Big Magic. I'll put a picture here on the screen, which is a book by the woman who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. I started reading this, I was listening to an audiobook actually months ago, and I got about halfway through and then my hold was up, and then I had to wait for it to come back, and then by the time I did get it again, I've rechecked it out twice since that one time, so I've had it 3 times, and I have the physical copy from the library as well. But by the time I got it back, I was like trying to find a good time to finish it, and I actually finished it this afternoon, and I really like it because it talks about creativity and finding yourself, and like how creativity is like it's like a physical thing, and it is kind of a magic that happens. And I think if you are creative and you're somebody who's struggling with that or has struggled with it in the past, I think you'd really like it. I think that she has a really good take on creativity and harnessing it and making it work for you and like being a creative person in the world. And I really liked it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I only gave it 4 stars because there were certain points in it where a lot of the time she spends the book talking in like a very, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the time she's talking about herself, which is fine because it's supposed to be, it's kind of like a memoir at the same time, because she talks about how she got into writing, how she continued to write, and, you know, just her whole life when it comes to writing and like being a published author, which I can appreciate. But it was like too much sometimes. I think it was a lot of like, this is my story, and some of it seemed a little bit far-fetched. Like she was talking about a story that she had an idea for and she was unable to write it. Like she just had the idea, and she was talking to one of her friends who's like a renowned author, and she told her the story that she had, and her friend was like, oh my god, like that's the exact story that I have. And her friend had told her idea, so she was hearing her friend's idea, and she's like, that's my idea. And like it just seemed like a little hinky, but she doesn't seem like a bad person or anything. I think it was just like a lot of circumstance, or maybe like being in the same circles or something like that, that they came to the same kind of story idea. But I mean, otherwise I thought it was really good. Like as a creative, it was fun and I really enjoyed it. But that's gonna be it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sorry I haven't been vlogging. I've been feeling really out of the loop and not really like doing much, and was trying to get into my new job, and you know, Rocco's like more comfortable being on camera, and I spent a lot of time with him. Like I've spent the last 16 days at like in his apartment. Like we haven't really left other than to like go to parks, and like occasionally we've had to go to the grocery store and you know, like things like that. But for the most part we've just been like chilling and playing Animal Crossing, and no one really wants to watch me like watch a video of me playing the game. Like you're not watching the game, you're just watching me play it. So I haven't really been vlogging, but I'm hoping to get back into it over the coming months, so we'll see. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'll see you in my next video.